Hello, Kindred Longevity Lifestyle Designers. This is Gavin here, secretsoflongevity.com. A lot of people are aware of a variety of health trends that seem to favor the idea of consuming liquid foods or supplements and things like that, superfoods as well, in order to gain the nutritional value of those things to a greater degree than we would get from those things in a solid form. Now, I'm all for eating the majority of your food in solid form, whether or not there can be periods of fasting, so to speak, where you would consume more, if not all, liquids in some form. That's a perfectly appropriate thing to do occasionally, but I think the majority of what we do should be solid foods in terms of our diet. There can, of course, always be some element of liquid nutrition in there, aside from just drinking good, high-quality spring water. Consuming vegetable juices is fantastic. Consuming smoothies can be fantastic. Consuming herbal teas can also be fantastic. One thing I've come to recently has been consuming Beyond Tangy Tangerine, which is a liquid supplement. Once you add the powder to water and mix it up, it's obviously liquid. And that has brought me to actually want to look more in depth into whether consuming something in its liquid form is more absorbable. Intuitively and just from basic common sense, we can understand it probably would be. But I wanted to see to what degree liquid supplements versus supplements in capsules or solid form, like a tablet, pressed tablet, what's the difference there? It's actually very startling. And it's also very mainstream in terms of being understood by the Physician's Desk reference from 2008, published by Reuters. Actually says 98% of a liquid supplement will be absorbed, compared to 3 to 20% of a non-liquid supplement. So that is a massive difference. I mean, some people are concerned about throwing their money down the toilet in terms of just pissing out nutrients, because you read the label of a supplement, it's got astronomical values of some of these water-based nutrients, and the whole point of that is that you get enough so that you're absolutely sure you're getting it. And yes, there's going to be excess that you're urinating out. But if you're urinating it out, that means your body's actually pulled in everything it needs. So yes, there's the cost of fractions of a penny of these nutrients you'd be urinating out. But if you're not absorbing the supplement at all, you're not getting that excess that is basically overflow that ends up in the toilet. You're actually shitting out the entirety or the vast majority of the supplement if it's in a capsule or tablet form. So that right there just says, out with tablets, in with liquids. There's definitely a place for tablets and capsules, and especially if it's a liquid inside there, or it's a time release type of capsule, which is meant to have a delayed release, which actually increases the absorption because it's not all the nutrients breaking down your stomach and being this high concentration liquid that's just mixed with a bit of stomach acid, which then when it goes into your digestive tract, your body absorbs some of it, but because it's not in a diffuse large body of water within you, your body doesn't absorb as much. So there's an article below that has a lot of references in it that I would highly recommend anyone check out if they want to see the scientific side of this and the proof of these facts. But the 3 reasons that we can simply understand to get an idea of why liquid supplements are much more absorbable, and this could probably translate to juice, if we were to talk about green vegetable juice versus eating those same vegetables. I'm not saying don't eat green vegetables, but we know that you get that rush, that feeling of being full of nutrients when you drink that green juice compared to consuming something where there are going to be more nutrients just ending up in the toilet because of the fiber that binds to nutrients, and it's just not necessarily completely broken down. So the thing with a supplement being already in its liquid form means that it doesn't need the time to break down in your stomach, as would be what happens if you consume a tablet or a capsule and it ends up in your stomach acid solution. That breaks down and you have the liquid nutrition already in its liquid form and in a greater volume. So you might drink half a glass or maybe a full glass of water when you take a supplement, but with a liquid supplement it's usually around half a liter or more depending on how much water you add to it. So it's actually a very large volume of water compared to just a little capsule with a bit of dilution from whatever liquid you use to swallow it down with. So if we were to take a scoop of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 and just look at the quantity of that scoop, you know, it's not big, but if you imagine that in a capsule, it would have to be 2, 3, 4 capsules just to get that amount. And if you were to just consume that, you can imagine how those would end up in your stomach acid. They dissolve, and you'd have this extremely concentrated solution in your stomach, which would then empty into your digestive system. But if you were to instead use that same amount, add it to water, and you're going to be consuming 1 scoop to about half a liter of water. That is a very large volume of liquid, so it's actually a lower concentration of those nutrients within that liquid compared to had it been a capsule. So if you can follow my imagery here, imagine that going through your digestive system as a larger volume of liquid compared to a very concentrated, less voluminous quantity. So the way absorption happens in our digestion is that it happens slowly and over time, and very high concentration, yeah, you're going to have a slightly higher absorption rate, but a larger volume of low concentration has more opportunity and more surface area and more time going through you to be able to be absorbed. And plus your body has to absorb all that water and get it to the kidneys and then urinate it out. So all that liquid's going to be absorbed versus a high concentration just ending up mixing with your stool at the other end of your digestion, and most certainly a lot more of it not actually being absorbed into your bloodstream. So those are the first 2 qualities that make liquid nutrition more absorbable versus tablets. And the third is that you can extend the length of time that you consume a supplement. So if you take capsules, no one really slows their consumption of it. You don't break a capsule in half and slowly eat it. You're going to take it, swallow it, and you're done. It's 1 dose, bang, it's in you. But with a liquid supplement, you have half liter of it in the case of Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and you can sip that over half an hour or even longer. You can constantly be sipping it through the day, which would actually be most optimal. It's not even what I do, but I consume it over the course of half hour or so. And this just ensures a slow, regular absorption over that period of time. I'm also doing 3 doses a day because 1 scoop of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the equivalent of what you'd need in terms of 50 pounds of your body weight for a day to reach the RDAs they're talking about on the label. So for someone like me, it's around 150 pounds, give or take, you would do 3 doses. If you're 100 pounds, you do 2 in a day. If you were 200 pounds, you do 4. So you can understand it like that. And so I wanted to demonstrate just what it looks like when you're going to be mixing it together. You take the single scoop leveled off, drop into a jar. I find adding it to the jar first dry allows for easy mixing. If you add water first and then add your Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 to that, you're going to end up with chunks that take 5-10 minutes to fully dissolve. But if you do it this way, just a little splash of water, it seems to go almost immediately. You do a little rinse, such as that. But that quick swirl gets it all mixed in. And then when you add the water, a full half liter, this is a 1 liter jar, so the halfway mark is the point there. For me, that gets it to the ideal dilution that it still tastes good. I find if you dilute it too much, the flavors tend to get a bit odd tasting. Some people might like it like that, but also if it's not enough, then it's obviously very strong, and some people might prefer it like that as well. No matter what concentration you consume it at, you just want to extend it out and know that with liquid nutrition, you're getting an extremely high rate of absorbability. And if you want to know more about the benefits of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 and why I recommend it as a daily just insurance policy, whole food supplement, you can check out my recent video in the links below. It'll be right below the link about the article of the benefits of liquid supplementation. Now, that's a very in-depth video, but I think it's always good to be very knowledgeable on what it is you're consuming, because if you feel passionate and understanding about the benefits of something, you're more likely to continue with the consumption of it. This is one of the things I've continued to take. I'm very big on intuitively taking a supplement. I might try something intellectually that I like the sound of it, but if I don't feel drawn to keep taking it, I just kind of understand that my body might not actually be needing it. But there's something about Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 that I've kept going back to, and I have no problem sticking to a routine of consuming it 2-3 times a day. It's very palatable. The peach version, which is the 2.0, the 1.0 is just tangerine on its own. I tried that. It's not what I recommend because of some differences in formulation. I really like the benefits that 2.0 offers compared to it. And yeah, you can always ask questions if you want to know more about the supplement. You can always ask them on that video as well, because that's more the general information. This is just the benefits of liquid nutrition versus capsules and tablets. But there was a question actually on that video recently I wanted to kind of elaborate on, and it was the fact that someone noticed when they were consuming it, they had a canister between them and their partner, and they noticed they were urinating yellow urine, very bright color, and they thought they were just pissing out the nutrients, so to speak. And that's something a lot of people have as a criticism of supplements without much understanding of what's happening. There's a really reasonable explanation of that, and it's only one single vitamin. And anyone who's taken a multivitamin at any time that contains this vitamin knows this to be the case, that vitamin B2, which is riboflavin, when your body reaches its saturation in that moment, it's going to urinate the excess out. That's a good thing because you don't need that sitting around in your body if you've reached that level of what you need. So it's purposefully put in there at such a high amount, many times over the RDA, because there are people with low absorption, even more reason to take liquid nutrition versus a tablet or capsule. And for those few people that can't absorb enough, they put it in there so that you are absolutely getting it into you. And it's really not making the supplement more expensive by any great degree. And it's not like you're urinating everything out, it's just that one thing that's causing your urine to change color. There are other nutrients in there that are water soluble that in excess you will urinate them out. But this is what an insurance policy is about. There's plenty of things in here that aren't at 2,000% RDA that you're getting per day. And those things you are getting enough of, and you have the insurance that if you're not getting them from food, you are getting them and you're having optimal health day to day and making sure your bases are covered. So if you're interested in trying Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0, check it out at the link below. That's going to be the third link below the other previous two mentioned. And by purchasing through me, you're at first going to get a 30% discount. Otherwise, it's going to be very overpriced. The way this company, Youngevity, is set up is that by becoming a preferred customer, which is signing up, you're not having to pay anything extra to sign up. That is allowing you to get that discount. And then if you want, you can also put it on auto ship. You're going to get free shipping, and that is most optimal because if you don't like the product, you can always get out of it. But you get that first one with free shipping. So after a month's trial, which one of these is roughly a month's supply, depending on your weight and how much you're consuming, you'd want to, if you decide you didn't like it, then call them up and get off the auto ship. But if you don't want to commit to the auto ship and have it set up like that, you can always just buy it as is at the price of one canister, which you can find on the site there. By the way, if you are in anywhere other than North America, it might not work through the site, so you have to call them up to order it and give them your information that way. It's a bit of a hiccup. I think they're going to be updating the site soon, I hope. But it doesn't mean you can't get it. They still ship to virtually every country except, the war zone type countries. And yeah, that sums up what I wanted to cover in this video. So let me know what you think about this video in the comments below. Like, favorite, and share the video if you feel so inclined. And with that, I'll talk to you next time. Take care and embrace life without limits.